Hi everyone, it's Ruchika Nirwan here. Welcome back to my channel at Learn and Play. So today is 2nd April and it's Autism Awareness Day, and entire month of April is celebrated as Autism Awareness Month. But देखा जाए तो पूरा every day should be Autism Awareness Day, and this particular month is dedicated to our kids and to spread more awareness. So today we have uh, Somrita Roy Chatterjee with us. So Somrita is going to talk about emotional intelligence and how much important it is for us, for parents, for kids, for everyone around. How to manage and everything. So let's hear some things from her. Hi Somrita.
Hi Ruchika.
How are you?
I'm doing good. How have you been?
All good. So can you introduce yourself a little?
So I'm Somrita Chatterjee. I'm based out of Mumbai. I am an coach. I work in the space of coaching. I'm an emotional intelligence practitioner, facilitator. And in specifically when it comes to emotional intelligence, then I take batches of, I've taken batches for 5 to 10-year-olds also. Currently, I work more with teens and youth. I've also taken parenting awareness session, workshops, and talks at schools. So that is more to do with the space of EI. Apart from that, I also do soft skills for corporates and also individuals.
Oh, that's really great. So, April is celebrated as World Autism Awareness Month. So we are going to talk, emotional intelligence regarding the this awareness for the kids specifically and for the parents also, because it becomes very important for parents to handle their own emotions. So so that the kids are also getting the same positive things around. So, what do you think? What is the importance of entire thing?
So when you talk about emotional intelligence, it's there is a lot of data, statistics, and a lot of research has been gone. So Ruchika, for you, for the other viewers, you can just go into Google and just see how and why it is important. But let me tell you a very small story, which I had read few years back, and it has stayed with me since then.
Mm-hmm.
So in 2008, the economic crash down had come, and it started all with shutting down of Lehman Brothers, within a night.
Mm-hmm.
So there was this Indian IIT. I am best of the best places, best of the best placements. He was doing really well, and he was at a top-notch position in Lehman Brothers. But when the company shut down, he couldn't secure a job even at half of his salary. And it was that time that he was diagnosed with depression, and he also tried to commit suicide 3 times. So there was this article by this association of psychiatry or something. I'm forgetting the name of the association, but the top psychiatrists and psychologists, they were telling, like, you need to prepare your children for failure. Don't prepare them only for success.
Right.
That's how important EI is. When I say prepare for failure, I'm talking about a specific skill, resilience, optimism. But where does it begin? It begins with knowing, understanding your own emotions, then managing it. Say, suppose this guy knew that, he was feeling anxious, he was feeling scared, he was feeling probably anger, irritated. If he knew that, if he knew how to manage it, and then probably, work on optimism, resilience, he might not have, ended up committing suicide or not sure what to do. So that's how important EI is.
Very
And
true.
if you talk specifically about any child, for that matter of fact, children do what they see, not what they are told.
Yeah.
So, I have a close to 4-year-old son. If I have seen that in COVID, it was very difficult for all of us, and he was throwing too many tantrums, shouting. And later on, when I sat down, I understood that was what he was receiving. So it's very important to, first understand, manage what you're feeling. also understand what the child is going through.
Very true.
So that's very important. That's how EI is.
Mhm. So what do we mean exactly by emotional intelligence?
So briefly, in very simple language, it means understanding your own emotions, understanding the emotions of the person with whom you're interacting, or in your relationships, wherever you're going, managing emotions in self, managing emotions in others, and then building upon the emo-social skills, like you have goal setting, intrinsic motivation, optimism, resilience, and so on.
Mhm.
So in brief, it's literacy, it's managing, and it's the emo-social skills. That's
Okay.
like very, very layman language.
Okay, Sumitra. So you said you have a 4-year-old child, and can you share about your journey, like how, like we talk a lot about, different strategies and everything, but when it comes to implementation, like that kids with special needs,
True.
they have definitely parents, they find it difficult to understand in and out, because externally people see what they are doing externally, like the child is throwing stuff, the child is pulling hair, but they don't understand, like other people, they don't understand what is going on with the child internally. And the same is reflected, parents, they also get anxious, they get very worried what their child will do in the future, or what is their future. So thousands of thoughts might be coming in their mind, right, which makes them anxious and very stressed. And parents, some people, they don't sleep, some people are worried whether my child will study or not. So what do you think, uh, how easy was your journey as a mother, being emotional intelligence coach?
I think, Ruchika, you should have posed the question how difficult it has been. But I love the question how easy it's been. First and foremost, to all the parents out there, and I do it with my own self. So please give a pat on your back, because as parents, we think and want the best for our child.
Yeah.
We know ourselves, we know our children the best. So the intention is very clear. But sometimes what happens is, so a senior mentor of mine in EI told that, when a child comes, there is no manual that comes along with it. How do you handle, how do you manage? So that becomes the difficult part. Uh, my journey, if I talk about, so when Parth came along, I had a very difficult pregnancy. He was a premature child, he had a lot of issues, and I was like close to postpartum depression. And when the feeding stopped, I went from one blood pressure tablet to two to three. That's how my case was.
Mm.
Till now I'm on BP medication, but it was by chance that I encountered EI. And when I went through it, I understood that first I have to be aware of what I'm feeling and managing it. It's not that I have completely changed. I still have anger management issues. It's not like, I never get angry, or, I always manage every situation well. But yes, what it has done is it has increased the awareness level. So, and you can begin like really, really early. So I think when Parth was just started talking, it was then, we used to play with making faces. So happy face, sad face, angry face. And at times he still, when we are conversing, if he's really angry, it doesn't work every time. He does throw tantrums, he shouts, he throws things, all those things are there. But there are times, when he tells that mama, I'm angry, you know otherwise if he's starting to throw a tantrum, I will say like, oh Parth, I can see you're really angry, very, very angry. And he will like, and then I'll ask him, so you're this much, or this much? And then he'll stretch his hands, keep, mama, I'm this much angry. And I'm like, what do you want to do? I want to throw, I want to shout. And then I also tell him that, when I am angry, I also feel like doing it. And then sometimes through a story that, something what I did when I was young, or, do you want to just draw and take it out? At times it has worked. So it works with everyone. And you don't need language, you don't need anything when it comes to emotional intelligence. Even through facial expressions, you can very much practice it. That's one thing. And a hilarious incident is coming to my this thing right now. So a few days back, Part's father was asking him to write something, and I think it was some alphabet or something, and he was as usual playing here and there, and then his father got a little angry, and he's like, you have to complete this. I think something was to be sent to the school or something like that. And then he's like, Papa, you're getting angry, do it like this and your anger will come down. And we all started laughing. But what I understood from that incident was कि चलो बच्चे में कहीं ना कहीं this thing is maybe slightly seeping in. It's a very long journey, but first thing is awareness. Awareness
Yeah.
has to seep in. And that's how my journey has been, as a parent.
Very true. Nice. So, see, when we, kids with autism and other special needs, they don't even know that what are emotions, what are basic emotions. They are not able to acknowledge their own emotions, right? So we have to start from the very stretch with them. So we also use different techniques, so that they will be aware that with the basic emotions, with the song, through the drawings, okay, and different visual cards we use for them because they process it more. So parents, like again, anything you want to share to other parents where how they will be able to manage all these things, जिस बच्चे को emotions के बारे में awareness ही नहीं है, they cannot acknowledge their emotions, how parents will, they should deal with it. Like your child, definitely he is aware about the basic emotions, he knows the strategies now also, like with the deep breathing it is going to be fine, or maybe if I'll draw I'll be fine if I'm angry, right? So he's the kids at this age, 4 to 5 age, they start diverting it in some ways, they are expressing it also, right? But with the special needs it becomes a very different case. So any idea, any tip you have for the parents that how they should act so that the child will also don't get so dislocated, like then the throwing will come now. See, whenever there is a communication error, then inappropriate behaviors, they emerge. So if my child is not aware how to say I am angry, so they will definitely throw something or they express their anger with something. Sure. Right. So this is what I was thinking, that what should be the thing.
So like I said, every parent knows his child the best. So if it's children, who are differently abled, or special children like autism cases, first and foremost, I think the literacy has to begin with the parent himself or herself. What is it that you are feeling? A children a lot of time mirrors what is the thing that you are feeling. So a lot of times you will understand from there. If you are feeling anxious, irritation, a lot of time that goes into the child. That is the first thing. Secondly, like I said, it has nothing to do with language or anything. Even through sign, if you observe your kid, you will come to know, you ask a parent, the parent will be able to tell you when the child is happy, when the child is sad,
Right.
when the child gets angry, what does he do? And few things like anger, it's not like it suddenly comes. Anger suddenly rises.
Yeah.
For example, you are happy, when you're doing something, you're happy, then something doesn't happen your way, you start to feeling little irritated, then annoyance, then anger, and then when the rage comes, then this inappropriate behavior comes. But in rage, it is very difficult to manage.
Right.
So you have to know when the anger is building up. True. So just look for signs, how is the child behaving at different times? What does the child do? Develop that special, sign language with the child. What is it that the child likes? How does he generally express himself? So through ways and means, because every child is unique. Right. Whatever I mentioned with my child, not that he practices deep breathing or coloring or anything. That's a long way to go. But he is generally like that. He's very expressive and he likes running a lot. So because I know that, I know how to channelize his energy, right, like most of the times. Yes. So the parent has to first understand, how the child expresses, and that will only happen with observing. First thing. Secondly, if it doesn't help much, look at what you are feeling. Ask yourself at different times of the day. When I started with EI, I used to do this. Somrita, how are you feeling? Somrita, how are you feeling? At different times. And even before coming to this call, so every call, I'm very technologically challenged. And I'm like, oh my God, if something goes here and there, if I'm not able to see here, this thing is always there. So I tell myself that, Somrita, you're feeling anxious. On a scale of 10, maybe you're feeling anxious 5, 6. So I don't know, maybe a couple of breaths, a line of a song that I really like. And I try to manage it so that I give my best whenever I come here. So that is something which, parents, first is you have to be aware what you're feeling. Now, either ask yourself, if you're not able to understand what you're feeling, then there's this interesting concept of feeling fingerprints. So let me ask you, Ruchika, what happens to your body when you feel happy?
I feel more energetic, I feel.
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like to sing basically when I'm happy.
Yes. So you have a lot of energy, your body feels light, maybe your heart is beating slightly faster, you feel like smiling, maybe running, hugging. So those are the feeling fingerprints of joy. Similarly, sadness, anxiety, all these have specific that knot in the stomach, you know, is with anxiety. Sadness is, when you feel heavy. So I'm just telling like in very, very brief. So look at your feeling fingerprints. Your body will help you to understand what is it that you're feeling. Once you know what is it that you're feeling, ask yourself the intensity. On a scale of 1 to 10, where does it fall? And then you will know what to do. Managing, like I told you, first thing is the validation. So I think validation is such a simple and the most used technique. And it was, I think it was coined is the wrong word. It was brought in as a technique of managing by 6 Seconds, which is the largest organization for research, training, and development of EI. It's simple. You just have to tell yourself, Somrita, you're feeling this. It is okay to feel this. As a parent also, like mothers, who are working, we go on guilt trips. So I keep telling myself, Somrita, what is it that you're feeling? Okay, you're feeling guilty, you're feeling sad, or probably a little irritated with yourself. It is okay to feel this. By the time you do this validation, your intensity has come down. When your intensity comes down, you are in a better place to think and act what you want to do. There's a whole neuroscience behind it, Ruchika, probably we can have a separate session on this hijack and the thinking brain, emotional brain, but this is like very, very brief. So for parents, just to sum it up, what is it that you're feeling? Ask yourself, look for feeling fingerprints, the signals which your body gives you, intensity. For managing, I told you validation. I use a lot of music because I love music. So find out, your own ways to manage the emotion. And then, of course, the child, you will know what to do and how to do.
True.
Every day, you will need practice every day.
Yeah, and once the parents they start managing and knowing it, basically accepting their own feelings and emotions, then managing their own emotions, definitely we'll project whatever we'll project, it's going to be positive only to our kids. Right.
Yes.
So I know, see, because the stress levels are different, and of course, being like every person is different. So our way of dealing with the stress is also different. So some parents, I feel they are relaxed and they are okay, okay, let it be. He will or she will do when the time will come. He will speak or she will speak. Some parents are very relaxed and calm. Some parents, they even though the child is speaking and doing everything, performing, but they still get really anxious. Okay, ये नहीं कर रहा है, ये वाला चीज नहीं कर रहा है. So ये नहीं. I think this, then if they will sit back and they accept and acknowledge this fact that okay, the मेरा बच्चा ये नहीं कर रहा है, but I have to give it time, and like you said, that validation is important, and then managing the emotions will come on its own. Knowing your child, knowing their energies, definitely. So it should help parents a little. Yeah. So
It's actually okay to have all kinds of emotions. It's okay to have anger, It is okay to have anxiety, these unpleasant emotions. It is okay to have sadness. In short, they are within our body. So they are in the
Definitely.
form of peptides, but leaving it aside, just feel that it's very much in the body. So every body part has a function. Similarly, these emotions have function. So let me tell you an example here. So Ruchika, say suppose your friend is admitted in the hospital.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And before going there, you met me, and I have this magic wand, and I, with the help of magic wand, I take out the sadness. So now Ruchika will not feel sad. Okay. So when you go to meet your friend at the hospital, what will you do?
I'll not be sad then. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know, maybe you can laugh or dance, or so the
Yeah,
point
it's
I'm
going to
trying to
be
make
completely
is
inappropriate then. Yeah, I'm getting it.
every emotion is required, and it is okay to not be okay.
Yeah, that's very true. It's okay not to be okay. We can't just be okay all the time, right? And the same is for all the parents who are raising their kids. It's okay not to be okay. Yeah,
True.
very true.
So, Ruchika, one thing which can help these parents is, the skill of resilience. So, resilience in very short means bouncing back, when you're faced with a problem, challenge, difficulty. And I do understand that it must be really difficult for these parents to manage themselves, to manage the child, and plus you have so many other things to take care of.
Right.
So resilience, in short, there are two skills which are attached to resilience. One is optimism and one is gratitude.
Okay.
So when I talk about optimism, there are many ways, but recently I was doing this course in Coursera by Dr. Karen Revish. She works with University of Pennsylvania, and she's the protege of Martin Seligman,
Okay.
who's a very famous name in psychology. And Dr. Karen Revish was saying that, when you face a problem or a situation, you can actually use three techniques, she said. One is evidence, one is reframe, and one is if then. So, what is evidence? Say, suppose, I have to speak in front of a huge crowd, and I'm like really psyched out. And I'm like, oh my God, Somrita, that internal talk which goes on. Oh my God, Somrita, you may not do well today. What if someone asks a question you don't have the answer to? Oh my God, if you freeze? What if you forget what you have to say? So all these kind of, and these are like few things which have come earlier.
Yeah.
So I'm taking this example. So what I can do is I can counter this thought or this problem or challenge with the thing that, Somrita, you have handled similar kind of talks, maybe 5 talks, 10 talks in the last 6 months or so, and you have done it. So that's evidence. Second is reframe. So a better way of looking at it, Somrita, is that this is an opportunity for you. You are going to make a difference to so many lives.
Mhm.
You are going to learn from them.
Mhm.
It's okay to be not okay. So that's reframe. And third is if then. So if someone asks a question that I don't have an answer to, then I will tell them honestly that I don't know now. Let me please collect the question, and I'll do some research or find out, talk to a mentor, senior mentor, and get back to you. So these three techniques she spoke about, and this really helps, for parents, when they are dealing with a difficult situation, maybe 1, 2, 3, whatever works with them. This is one thing. Second is practicing gratitude. When you practice gratitude, you go to a very higher state. When you are at a higher state of your being, you will know what to do.
Right.
So you can like be grateful for any and everything, you know, right from this laptop to this furniture to this life to the people to Ruchika to this opportunity to nature. I can like go
Yeah.
on and on. So
Right.
start practicing gratitude, maybe in the beginning of the day or at night. Maybe write down 3 things you're grateful for every day and see how your life changes.
Yeah. Nice. Gratitude is one thing, right?
Yeah.
So, with these things, parents or any other person will get, some kind of optimism, and their behaviors will change. Do you think that behaviors will actually change?
So I have practiced, I'm actually practicing, and this does help. Okay. When
Okay.
I talk about validation, there's a huge scientific data which is available that it actually works, you know.
Mhm.
And so if it particularly works for each and every individual, I don't know. You will have to practice and you will have to see for yourself. But I can talk about based on my experience and what I have done and what I've seen the others doing. So I am like very optimistic that all of this can actually work if you want to make it work.
Very true.
Otherwise, you can try your own ways.
Mhm. But see, life condition, it changes, right? Everyone cannot be always in the high life condition when they are exactly neutral and able to sort everything. Some days are good, some days are bad, especially for our parents. And in that manner for kids also. They cannot just perform every time. We can't just expect that they will talk in front of others knowing that they have social anxiety. So the expectation which we put to our kids, it's again, it should be like, not always that it should be not always 100% that my child should get this, my child should get this. So definitely a person should balance their expectations. I think it, don't you think so, that it's directly proportional?
Yes, 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 definitely. So I was doing this parenting talk, and a person asked me this, that so I was talking about expectations, and this parent asks कि लेकिन मैडम ऐसे कैसे, ऐसे थोड़ी छोड़ सकते हैं बच्चों को, उनको तो अच्छा
Mhm.
करना ही है. So then luckily she was there with her husband. I called both of them. I said that please hold each other's hand, okay? And now imagine that you're in your house in the drawing room, hold each other's hand, and slowly walk up to your bedroom. Open the almirah, take out your files, and look at your own mark sheet.
Yeah.
At least see what you're expecting, you know? And on top of that, if it is this kind of child, then you will have to be like really realistic. You
Definitely.
ask yourself, am I like realistically? So Ruchika, my child was born at 7 months. He was, I think, hardly 1.5 kilos, and first 48 hours was very crucial for him.
Hmm.
I think he took a lot of the initial development have happened a lot late for him.
Okay.
Okay. So of course, questions from relative friends, अरे अभी तक गर्दन नहीं सीधा हुआ, अरे अभी तक चलना नहीं सीखा. So these kind of things, or everything was there. Frankly speaking, makes me anxious as a parent, this thing. But me and my husband came together and he said ki hamara beta hai, whatever will happen, we'll see to it. So he actually started speaking also a little late.
Mhm.
But now if you look at him, no one will be able to tell ki 7 months premature baby and with so many issues and this and that. So as a parent, you have a choice. You can be realistic, or you want to be driven by society and other things. Let me tell you one more example. So when I put Parth to play group,
Mhm.
the reason why I put him to play group was he'll get kids at his age.
Yeah.
प्ले ग्रुप में क्या करा लेंगे वो लोग, खिलाएंगे विलाएंगे, and he'll get a good environment.
Mhm.
So those people started telling me कि इसको हिंदी इंग्लिश सिखाइए, it's very difficult to communicate, इंग्लिश सिखाइए. So my nanny told me 2 to 3 times कि दीदी आप जाके बात करो. I said okay. One fine day I went, and then I said that English, Hindi, and Marathi, since we are in Mumbai, I said these 3 languages my kid will learn anyhow. My mother tongue is Bengali, and I want him that to learn first. I said, don't worry, you talk to him in sign language, he'll understand. That's how kids are. And I was very okay that he was not able to talk because he started speaking late. I knew we had to first, put him in one language and then introduce him to everything. Otherwise, his experience would have been very different. So as a parent, it's your choice. Other people keep asking me weird questions every time, but I'm okay. जो भी हो रहा है, देख लेंगे. Chika, I think हमारे यहाँ पे इतना ज़्यादा, there's so much of focus on studies, marks, our education system. Sorry, I also completely agree with you here. There's a lot of things that can be done in the education system. So even when I was on my own, and I remember we having this discussion, so we were also asked this question, ki, why can't you take a normal job? So I had this corporate experience, and why did you leave? You had a good package, you were working with good organizations, why are you on your own? What is it that you're doing? And things like that. Kids also, we expect marks. What is it that you're doing? But tell me, Ruchika, how much of it that we have learned are we using right now? I will not even say 0.1%.
Yeah.
So ultimately, again, coming back to the example, the story that I shared, that guy was IIT, IIM plus, other degree holders. But when the problem came, and problems will come. So today it is COVID, tomorrow it can be David. Or else, you can have any accident, or else health issue, or else economic crash down. Then what is it that you do? And this is the reason why the institute that I'm attached to, Equipoise, they have been trying to, bring in that EI into the main curriculum. And we have recently got a breakthrough. One school has called in us for, showing them a full-fledged curriculum and discussing further. But we want that to happen for each and every school. Right. So with things like this, when you focus on the overall development, mental, emotional, physical. Secondly, every child is different. You and I, हमें सारे subjects पसंद थे? नहीं.
Never.
You probably were in, someone could be in sports, someone could be in music, someone could be in this. So, why is it that we are expecting our child to, be contained? मुझे इतना अजीब लगता है. So recently I started with a fresh batch of EI, and I do this activity, make a t-shirt for each other and all. And the kind of question that teenagers were asking, so ma'am, what is it that we have to draw? What all has to be there? And so I said, just think, enjoy, do whatever you want. And when I left them to think, they were more confused because हमने इतना ज़्यादा उनको बांध दिया है.
Structure कर दिया.
You have to do this, you have to think like this. Somewhere that curiosity and that thing is gone. And you won't believe, Ruchika, when I gave them time and the beautiful things they came up with, I was like, wow, so much to learn from these kids.
Right. So, by entire fight, when I started my work by my own thing, Floortime is still, there is no Floortime practitioner still in Haryana, Gurgaon. Okay. So when I started, imagine somebody saying, "He just play." Somebody will just say, "Okay, leave the academics. Abhi right now we will just play." Okay. So for some parents, it was so hard to take. What is she saying? My child will just play. She's saying just to play and leave everything apart. But it's directly very related. When the child is born and when we leave them in the world, they also play. They don't take books. Right. So when we talk about kids with autism and other developmental disorders, their processing is delayed, their motor action, their motor processing is also delayed, functionings are delayed. So we cannot expect that, okay, if I'll say, okay, write this thing, so they will just write very easily because their fine motors are not very strong. How will they write? So we have to strengthen, right? The kids, small kids, they also strengthen things. They also sense things around by touching and exploring, by doing cause and effect. They walk and they fall and they understand how to balance, right? So same we have to do for our kids. So it was a big task, like some parents, they were happy that, they got the concept. They were happy that my child has started playing and using their own brain. Like you said, kids are getting more structured because we don't give them we don't give them opportunity to use their own mind, to give unstructured tasks like Jenga blocks. Jenga blocks, they are really unstructured. One kid can make a tall building, one kid can make a shapes, one kid can make another thing like a train, right? So it's all unstructured. So unstructured play should be one thing where the child should develop their own mind, their own brain, right? Because and it gives them a power of choice makings also. So that is how they make decisions. Okay, today I will make this. I don't want to make this. This is also something, which they use, without any prompts, without any dependencies. So this is the main objective of my entire work, that the kids should use their own brain. We should not tell them that you should do this, you make this, you do this. So let's see. It's been just 3 years of my entire, this organization, Learn and Play, and we have started in April only. Now it's complete. Now it's all 3 years, and I'm happy that parents are accepting play. Kids are happy learning with the play. So it's a new thing.
Ruchika, when I'm listening to you, I feel so proud of you. Yeah, such amazing work you're doing, and how beautifully a child will come. When you just let him or her just be.
Yeah, because everyone is expecting something or the other thing, right? Nobody is just saying, okay, be yourself. And when we say this to kids, they feel really connected with me. They are really connected.
Yeah. And a thing for these parents is, if you're just okay with yourself not being that okay, with the kids being just the way you are, see the beautiful bond you will have. The
Yeah.
other day I was supposed to start my group client batch, and I don't know, there was some problem with the Wi-Fi, then something else happened, then my child was throwing a tantrum in the morning, then my nanny was not there that day. Suddenly she messaged that she would not be coming, and I was like, oh my god, what do I do? And I was like literally all over the place. Anxiety, irritation, everything was like, gone haywire. And so I just thought one thing at a time. So बहुत simple बाकी सब arrange किया. But I was still feeling, quite anxious. And my son just walks up to me and he tells me, Mama, we are rock stars. And I said, yeah, Mama is a rock star, Parth is a rock star. You won't believe, Ruchika, that one statement started making me believe in myself again, that I can do it. And I was, things like this, when you appreciate your child, when you listen to their stories. And so the other day he asks me, मैंने उसको बोला ABCD बोलो, and then he said AD. So I said कि but you left BC, and then he's like कि A के बाद B ही क्यों आना है? And that got me thinking कि हमने तो कभी पूछा ही नहीं, हमें तो बोल दिया, हमने रट लिया, और रट के we are doing that. We never asked the logic. And he made me think, oh my God, so parents, appreciate yourself, love your child, let the child be, and they will bloom just beautifully, especially Ruchika and I, now that we are on our own, we decide, we do, yeah, of course, it's not like we are successful in whatever we do. We don't have our bad days. All that happens. But I am much better off than when I was elsewhere. So, and from Ruchika, from whatever experience, I can feel the same for you. Is it?
Yeah. It is.
So if it works for you and I, then think the magic that it will do for a child.
I think parents should, like the coping mechanism you have discussed for optimism, resilience and gratitude. So I think when parents will start practicing the gratitude part, especially, they have the child, that is what they should be, we feel grateful about.
Just parents, just be with yourself, accept whatever there is, reach out to other people, like-minded people like us, reach out, share, discuss. If you are like your honest self, no one is here to judge you, to tell you. So find that safe space, and who can offer you a lending here, because that's very important.
Very true.
We are there with you. At least, people like Ruchika, we are there with you. If you want, reach out to us, and we would be more than happy to help, even if that means, a 10-minute, 15-minute phone call conversation.
Very true.
We are here.
And you can practice certain things at home, like which Somrita has discussed very beautifully. So I think these exercises will also help you guys to have a very positive mindset, and for you and for your kids both. Right, Somrita?
Yes, yes.
Yeah. So that's all for today, and I hope for more sessions with you, Somrita, on different topics on emotional intelligence as well. So yeah, that's all for today.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me and giving me this opportunity.
Thank you so much for giving us your time. And I'm hoping to see you again.
Sure. Same here.
Yeah. Okay, so bye bye.
Bye.